What if the only thing standing between you and the life you've been imagining is not money, not opportunity, not talent, not timing? What if the only thing standing between you and everything you want is 6 inches, the distance between your 2 ears, the battlefield inside your own mind? Because here is the truth, nobody says clearly enough. Your mind will either be your greatest weapon or your most convincing prison. And right now for most people, it is the prison. You know what an undisciplined mind feels like? You've lived in it. It's the alarm that goes off, and the voice that says 5 more minutes, that somehow becomes an hour. It's the plan you made with fire in your eyes, that looked completely different in the cold light of the next morning. It's the moment you sat down to work, and somehow ended up somewhere else entirely, scrolling, avoiding, delaying, doing everything except the one thing that actually matters. An undisciplined mind is not lazy, it is afraid. It is afraid of the work not being good enough, afraid of the effort not producing results, afraid that if you try truly, completely try, and it still doesn't work, then what excuse is left? So it protects you with distraction, with procrastination, with comfort, with 1,000 small decisions every day that feel harmless in the moment and devastating in the long run. And here is the cruelest part. Your mind uses your own voice to do it. It sounds like reason. It sounds like wisdom. I'll be ready tomorrow. The timing isn't right. I need to prepare more. But it is not wisdom. It is fear dressed up in a suit, and it has been running your life for longer than you want to admit. There is a moment in every person's life where something shifts, not dramatically, not with fanfare, quietly. A moment where you look at the distance between who you are and who you know you're supposed to be, and you realize the gap is not made of circumstance. It is made of thought. Every thought you never challenged, every fear you never confronted, every limitation you accepted because someone else said it was realistic. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, one of the most powerful men in the history of the world, wrote this in his private journal. Not for an audience, not for history, for himself. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. A man commanding an empire, reminding himself every single day that the only real dominion any person ever has is the dominion over their own thinking, because he understood something that takes most people a lifetime to learn. External success is always a reflection of internal discipline. The business follows the mind, the body follows the mind, the relationships follow the mind, the life, the whole, entire, complete life follows what happens in the 6 inches between your ears. Discipline that and you discipline everything. So what does it actually mean to discipline your mind? It does not mean becoming a machine. It does not mean suppressing emotion or eliminating rest or grinding yourself into nothing. It means this: you decide what gets your attention, not the algorithm, not the noise, not the fear. You. It means that when the voice says you're not ready, you move anyway. When the voice says this probably won't work, you work anyway. When the voice says nobody else is watching, nobody will know, you show up anyway. Because disciplining your mind is not a single dramatic decision. It is 10,000 small decisions made in the moments nobody sees. The 5 a.m. when no one knows you woke up early, the hour you spent studying, when you could have been comfortable, the page you wrote when it wasn't perfect, the call you made when it was terrifying, the attempt you made after the failure that everyone else interpreted as a sign to stop. Those moments invisible, unwitnessed, uncelebrated, are where the disciplined mind is built, not in the highlight reel, in the raw footage nobody ever sees. And here is what the disciplined mind develops that nothing else can give you. Immunity. Immunity to distraction. Immunity to discouragement. Immunity to the opinions of people who are comfortable watching while you are courageous enough to build. The disciplined mind does not need the approval of the crowd to take the next step. It does not need perfect conditions to begin. It does not need guaranteed results to commit. It needs only one thing: the decision that this matters more than the discomfort. Make that decision every morning, every hour, every moment the fear returns. Make it again. And then something happens. Not overnight. Never overnight. But gradually, then suddenly, the way all real transformation works, you start to notice it in small ways first. The alarm goes off and you get up, not because you feel like it, because you decided to. Work gets hard and you stay, not because it became easier, because you became stronger. The fear comes and you do the thing anyway. Not because the fear disappeared, because you stopped letting it vote. And the mind that once fought you at every turn, that once found 1,000 reasons to stay small and stay safe, begins to shift. It begins to work with you instead of against you. It begins to see possibility where it once saw obstacles. It begins to generate solutions instead of manufacturing excuses. Because a disciplined mind, trained over time through consistent daily choices, does not just change what you do, it changes who you are. You become someone who starts, someone who finishes, someone who shows up on the days that the undisciplined version of you would have stayed home. And that person, the disciplined, committed, mentally strong version of you, is capable of things the current version cannot yet imagine. That version is not far away. It is built one decision at a time. And it begins right now. So here is what I need you to do. Not tomorrow, not when motivation arrives, not when conditions improve. Today, choose one thought that has been limiting you. One fear that has been making decisions on your behalf. One area of your life where your mind has been choosing comfort over growth. And decide, clearly, permanently, without negotiation, that you are taking that ground back, that your mind works for you now, that you are the authority over your own thinking, that every day from this moment forward, you will train your mind the way a warrior trains for battle, deliberately, consistently, without excuses. Because the life you want is not locked behind circumstances you can't control. It is locked behind a mind you haven't disciplined yet. The key has always been in your hands. Now use it. Discipline your mind and you will never need to discipline your circumstances, because your circumstances will follow your mind.